Welcome to the Paranormal Stakeout radio TV show with Larry Lawson. As a former career law enforcement officer and law enforcement educator, Larry focuses on the use of tried and true law enforcement investigative techniques in conducting paranormal investigations. Despite his experience and training, Larry also keeps an open mind to discussions on topics that deal with evidence that are not quite as physical in nature. Paranormal Stakeout guests are professionals in the field of the paranormal and parapsychology, conducting the investigations and research needed to further the cause of paranormal study. Larry advocates an agenda of standardization of structure and training in the field of paranormal investigation and research for the purpose of one day being able to produce the evidence needed to convince a jury of the existence of the paranormal. Whether it is ghosts, UFOs, unsolved mysteries, hauntings or cryptids, no topic is beyond the investigative reach of Larry Lawson and the Paranormal Stakeout radio TV show team. Now, here is the host of the Paranormal Stakeout radio TV show, Larry Lawson.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Paranormal Stakeout. I am your host, Larry Lawson, coming to you from beautiful Vero Beach, Florida, where the sun's almost always shining. And happy holidays to everyone. It's that time of year, and I hope everybody is with family and enjoying themselves. I want to take a second to shout out to a young lady named Shelly Travis, who has been my assistant in putting my shows together. She's done a great job, and I want to make sure that she gets credit for all of her hard work. Tonight, got some an interesting guest to talk with you about, a guy that's got an interesting story, an interesting background. And I'm very, very excited to welcome Tony Colon to the show. Tony is he's the creator of Fighting Spirit Paranormal, and he turned a lifetime of resilience and curiosity into a mission to explore the unknown. He grew up in the streets of Bronx, New York, learned to be resilient and fight through adversity there. He was raised Catholic, and he became very, very spiritually aware through that. But after the death of a relative and some other personal loss, he really began to feel his connection to the spirit world growing. He was at one point diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and he faced a new challenge that deepened his spiritual journey. And he was really encouraged by his mother's words, basically telling him, "You can fight this," and that helped really cement him into his spiritual journey also. He turns adventures into a blend of urban exploration and lighthearted paranormal investigations. I want to ask him about that all across the state of Florida, especially places like one of my favorite cities, St. Augustine. His future travel plans include to tour the U.S. in an RV and also go to Japan to investigate and visit. So with that, I'd like to invite Tony Colon to my show. Tony, how are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's really, really good to have you here. Excuse me, a little technical issue there. Tell us a little bit about Tony. Tell us about how you got started in this field. Tell us a little bit about Fighting Spirit Paranormal.
Well, it started at a young age. I was at my uncle's funeral. I was 6 years old, and I saw my uncle in the corner. He didn't have no legs. He was just there watching us, and I yelled out, "Hey, look, he's over there. Look, he has no legs." And my mom was like, "Shh, be quiet," because she knew I inherited the gift of seeing spirits from her. So it started there. And
that was your first experience with seeing the other side?
Yes.
You had no idea prior to that you had this gift. It was that was...
It started, yeah. I was about 6 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay. Did you have a succession of spiritual experiences after that, or did it continue, or did it abate for a while?
It disappeared for a while. Okay. Yeah, and then it came back suddenly. When I got Parkinson's, it came back. But I know what you're gonna say. It's 50% of people with Parkinson's have hallucinations.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and I'm not hallucinating. I saw a neurologist. I've seen my doctor. I've seen all sorts of doctors, hearing, vision. I'm good. I'm good.
If I may ask, when were you diagnosed?
When?
Yeah, how old were you?
Uh, at 45, 10 years ago.
Okay. Okay, so that's really kicked everything into high gear. Is that what caused you to create Fighting Spirit Paranormal?
Yes, it did. Just having to fight this roller coaster ride of a disease every day made me get that name along with my mother as an inspiration. And I did karate for 25, 30 years.
Oh, that helped.
So it's a play on words, fighting spirit.
Fighting Spirit.
Yeah.
Now, did you create this organization as to strictly investigate the paranormal, or did you create it to also bolster up with the fights you are having personally, if that makes sense?
Yeah, yeah. I created to I had two motives. One motive was to get my name out there and I want to spread awareness for Parkinson's disease.
Okay.
The other motive is just get my name in there as much as possible, and so I could turn
What
around
for?
and do that. Yeah,
Oh, for Parkinson's disease or for the
yeah.
paranormal work?
Paranormal work, I wanted to do as good a job as I can, make it entertaining videos as much as possible, so I could turn around
Okay.
and so it's twofold. You know,
Sure, sure, absolutely. Um, so how long have you been actively investigating, if I can ask that?
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
And most of it up in you're in St. Cloud, Florida now, correct?
Yes, St. Cloud.
Okay. Okay, so you've spent a lot of time in Florida. What are some of your favorite haunts down here?
I'd say the lighthouse, the St. Augustine Lighthouse, number one.
Can't ar- can't argue with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Main Street House, pretty
Mhm.
good. The Castillo de San Marcos, and recently I went to the Deering Estate. Oh, so haunted.
Oh,
Didn't disappoint.
down in the West Palm area, I believe that is.
Yes, Miami area, right on the
Miami.
coast.
Okay. 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 Very,
Yeah.
very interesting. So, do you investigate by yourself or with a team?
I started out by myself. I do some work by myself, but I also have a team of people I go out with.
Mhm.
So I have to be careful with having Parkinson's. I don't going out by myself. So
Yeah.
I go out with a team. I go out with someone almost every time. So
Are they part of your team or do you attach yourself to them?
uh, we're more like family because
Okay.
we got together and we just bonded and we just have so much love for each other. We're like brother and sister, all of us. This
Mhm.
team that they're not on my team, but we're a team. We're like a family.
Now, you talked about you had that experience as a child seeing your uncle, and then it was quiet for a while, and then you were diagnosed with Parkinson's. Was it quiet between the ages of 6 and 8 and 45, or did you have experiences in between there that kind of uh, enhanced your interest in researching the field?
I did have a couple. I had it was I lived in a three-family house in the Bronx. I had a couple
Mhm.
things where I saw shadow figures out the corner of
Mhm.
my eye, and I was like, I just brushed it off. And
Okay.
my mom knew what I was seeing. She told me, I know you saw something. And I'm like, I did, but I just want to like make believe I didn't. It's basically
Mhm.
what I did. My my mom, she was she took in a lot of people. She helped everyone that she could.
Mhm.
And so she took in my aunt, who was down on her luck, and my aunt ended up passing away in the house.
Ah, okay.
And I found her. I was 9 years old. And then my
Mhm.
dad passed away when I was 13.
Mm.
And it's kind of traumatic. My uncle got shot when I was 18 and in the Bronx.
Oh my.
That made me want to leave New York and come to Florida. So I came to Florida like a couple years later. I've been here ever since. So
So
I'm New
when
York
you're
Floridian, but more Floridian than you.
most people from Florida, a good portion of the people from Florida are from somewhere else. But so that's it's absolutely beautiful down here. That's why I live here.
Yeah,
So do you think then, and I didn't realize that folks with Parkinson's do have a 50% more chance of having hallucinations. I actually
yeah,
didn't know that. But
yeah.
do you think that your the onset of this disease did something to your did something to you to enhance your abilities. Can you put a finger on that as to
Yeah,
what it was?
I think it did, because I see, and I have more heightened senses. But I think it's like if someone loses their eyesight, they
Mhm.
hear better. You lose your hearing, they
Okay.
see better. I think
Hmm.
that's what it is. Like, I've lost a little bit of my balance. I've lost a little bit of flexibility. Um, so I'm gaining in other areas. Is how I see it.
Okay.
Uh,
Now, what do you experience now? What's your primary way of experiencing things now, if I may ask?
I hear the disembodied voice that you would hear it on a recording later. I hear it right then and there usually,
Okay.
and I see, not like how we would see someone, the whole body. I see like the color around them, like an aura
Nora. Hmm.
is basically what I see now. And sometimes I see it, sometimes I don't. I don't have it in check. I don't. I'm not trained in, so I'm not even sure if I even have psychic abilities, but
Hmm.
that's what I see. So.
Do you have any verbal type of interaction? I mean, when you hear voices, are they able to send you a message?
Uh, yes. Usually I hear it and I go with that, and I go with. At first, I didn't want to go with it, but I learned to go with what it's like intuition. So
Hmm.
stop here, make a left, go right,
Hmm.
and I would hear voices like that in my head. And at first I blew it off, but now I follow it. I learn to follow it now. So
Okay. Do you find that they're giving you messages, or um, trying to have you contact somebody or get a message to you? Do you feel
n-
that's the?
no, nothing like that. Usually it's just a single word, 2 words is what I hear.
Mhm.
Stop, go, follow me, go right, stuff like that. But nothing
Okay.
significant.
Do you use your group at all to uh, not advertise? That's not the right word I'm looking for, but to bring attention to Parkinson's to others through your work with the paranormal? Do you do that at all? And
I need to do that. I don't do that. I need to advocate more. For 2026, that's one of my goals, to advocate more.
yeah, because there's a group called Paranormal Kicks Cancer. Excuse me, Paranormal Kicks Cancer. Gentleman named Chris. Are you familiar with
I
Chris?
heard of them. Yes,
Yeah, they,
yes.
they do some real fine work, and they use the paranormal to to investigate, but they also use as a platform to bring awareness to cancer, particularly child cancer. So I was just wondering if that was in your plans at all.
I would like to model something like that after them. I'm friends. I follow them on Facebook, actually. So
Yeah, they're good folks. At
yeah.
any rate, we're gonna have to take our first break right now. So, folks, stay with me. I'm with Tony Colon of Fighting Spirit Paranormal, and we'll be back right after these messages. And we are back on Paranormal Stakeout. My guest tonight, Tony Colonna, Fighting Spirit Paranormal. Tony, interesting story, interesting background, and you proud to help you show folks that folks in your situation are still fighting and moving forward, and you're doing a great job with that. But tell me, you had the experience as a child. You didn't have a whole lot going on until you were diagnosed with this affliction, and now you're doing work in it. You're doing more work in it. What actually kicked it off that made you start to create Fighting Spirit and actually start investigating? What made you do that?
Uh, my mom passed away, triggered me, made me take a look at, self reflect, and make me get going. Stop talking about it and start taking action. So I
Okay.
so I
What action? What action? Tell me what action you're taking and what do you want to accomplish? What's your goal?
uh get get as many followers as possible to see my
Okay.
story, uh, get into my story, follow my story, and hopefully I find at least one person out there that gets inspired and they say to themselves, well, if he could do it, I could do it. Because that there was someone on Facebook that inspired me in that way
Okay.
when I first got, and he's an amazing guy. He has Parkinson's and he also has a heart condition.
Hmm.
And I actually met him. He came to Orlando one time and we met up and had dinner.
Very nice. So your goal is to just bring awareness to Parkinson's and the fact that you can fight through it.
Yes,
Is that
yes.
okay? Interesting that you picked the paranormal to do it. Why not pick another avenue?
Because at that time, so many things happen. So many, so many things happen.
Such as?
So I went. Okay, I started dating someone new,
Hmm.
and we went to camping in Ocala State Forest. And then on the way home, there was Casadega. Like if you
Okay.
coming down, I-4. So I
Sure.
was like, hey, let's stop over there and check it out. I heard it's, spiritualist camp. Let's check it out, see what's going on. And we took a picture and there was you could see like a man with his head tilted a little bit on a
Hmm.
car, like in the reflection. I said, what is that? And I she couldn't really tell, but when I went to work, I showed it to someone who has abilities, and she said that
Hmm.
his name is Robert Lawson, and he was hung.
That's interesting.
Very specific, and I was like his name and I was like, okay. She tried to look him up, she couldn't find him, but she did find like 4,000 people were hung in Ocala, and it's not really advertised. But yeah, and then after that, another thing happened. We went to Pioneer Village at Kissimmee,
Hmm.
and the tour guy, we went on the tours during the day, and he's like, we went into this house and there were shoes on the floor. And he said, well, these used to be on one door, not in the other door. He said, yeah, this place is a little haunted. They don't advertise that. They don't do paranormal. But the tour guide told me that. I was like, wow, that's interesting. I said, why can't we go on the second floor? No one could go in there. It's too haunted in there. So I was
Did
like,
he
oh,
say what happened?
he
Did
didn't
he?
tell me. I was so curious that he didn't want to tell me. He just said, it's just, we keep it locked. We just can't. When we went outside to go to the next building, he looks up at the window and he waves and then he kept walking. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. And then at the end, he told me, you could go anywhere you want now. Tour's over. You could check out. Of course, I beeline to that house. And
Yeah.
and I just started taking pictures and video. And I saw like a gold orb and it kind of like flipped. And it made me think of a pocket watch. Like you open it and close it. It made me
Sure.
think of that when I saw it in the window. And I was like, holy, hmm. And after that, I got a spirit attachment from that place.
How do you know you got a spirit attachment? What
I
happened?
there was I started getting activity in my car, in my house,
Hmm.
and this is shared experience, not just me. It was my uh, girlfriend at the time, Jennifer. It was our shared experience because we were both there, and knocking on my car door, nobody's there. We're both like nobody there.
And you
Uh,
both heard it. That's interesting.
Disembodied voice laughing from the back seat, which
Hmm.
terrified us. And then I used the Necrophonic app, and I got a name, and I got John, and the name of the house was the Lanier House, and it was John Lanier. If you could, you look it up, Osceola County history, John Lanier, and he's one of the pioneers.
Yeah, I'm familiar. I'm actually familiar.
And so fast forward a month later, I'm driving and I hear my voice, turn here, and it's Pleasant Hill Cemetery in Kissimmee. I turn in there. I turn on my phone from my phone video, and I start walking around. And I sit at a bench and I look up, and the tombstone says Isaac Lanier. which
Oh,
is his son. So I said,
yeah.
you know what, I'm going to pray. I prayed for him. I'm going to pray for you that you rest in peace. I prayed. And then after that, no more haunting. Everything was calm after that.
Interesting.
So that was just one of the things. And then at work, activity was happening too.
What
But
did you have happen at work?
that was a different haunt. And then
Okay.
I got a new house, and the house was haunted. So
Now,
I had activity in my car, in my job, at home, and I said I got to start a channel and start recording this stuff because it's just too much. No one's gonna believe me unless I get something on video.
so have you been able to get something on video?
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
What? Share. What have you gotten on
I I
video?
I put a camera in my bedroom because I kept being waking up. I felt like someone kept shaking me,
Hmm.
and I got in there. I actually posted on TikTok, and another podcast picked it up and posted it. A voice saying, "What? Watching you." And another video I had, they were pushing me, like shaking me like this, and lifted my arm, and
Interesting.
I got that. And then after that, I said, "Well, I gotta start a YouTube channel," and just you know, so I started a YouTube, and I didn't get much on YouTube, and TikTok started going, blowing up a little bit,
Hmm.
and just when I was going to give up on YouTube, I got contacted by another group that wanted to record with me.
Oh, wait.
So
Okay.
it just all of a sudden it came out of nowhere, and it ended up being Mike and Drina Paranormal. I mean, Drina and Mike Paranormal. And then they introduced me to Joey CTV, who I had been a fan of for like over 10 years. He's like the godfather of YouTube explorations. And
Hmm.
I recorded with them, and then my channel blew up thanks to them. I can't thank them enough. And then we ended up being good friends, and then they introduced me to an urban explorer, and I started doing that too. And I like both equally, so
When you urban explorer, what's that? Tell me what you do for that type of work.
that is you exploring the abandoned, really abandoned buildings, abandoned
Hmm.
malls, abandoned train, anything abandoned. People just
Hmm.
are curious, want to know what the histories of the places and what's going on in there, what happened here. It's a curiosity thing. I gotta thank Chris again, Chris Bloodrecutioner. He's another, one of the family members,
Hmm.
and he showed me how to urban explore.
Now, when you urban explore, do you ever do it with the intent of maybe finding something going on paranormal, or do you do any urban exploration with foreknowledge that there's something going on there?
Eh, I go in hoping there's something paranormal,
Okay.
but I keep my expectations low. Sometimes we
Okay.
explore and that's all it is. Sometimes we go in and there's activity. You can feel it, you can hear it, and
Mhm.
I take it further. I'll do a voice recording. If I get something on the voice recorded, then maybe I'll go a little further, take the REM pod out. If not, then we just keep it, exploring.
Okay. Now, this brings up another question. You're doing the urban exploration, you're
Hmm.
doing the paranormal stuff. First of all, how do you find places to investigate paranormal? Do people come to you? Do you just go to places that are known when it comes to the paranormal side?
Well, I used to DoorDash part time, and I would see places that are abandoned, and then I'd Google
Hmm.
the address and see if it's okay to go because you never want to go without permission.
That's right.
Uh, so I would Google places, and if I see it, I'll save it on my Google Maps, and then I'll go and check it out.
Hmm.
Uh, and I would talk with maybe Chris, if Drina, Mike, and Joe, and we'll go over it. And they're super careful too, and they'll tell me if it's a good idea or not a good idea, and we'll go check it out. So
Good. So now that we've established that, how do you investigate? How do you set yourself up to investigate? What equipment do you use? What do you do with the evidence you collect? Uh,
mhm.
can you share that at all?
Yeah. When I first started, I had no clue what I was doing. Um,
Mhm.
and I was on TikTok a lot, and I would go live, and people would laugh at me and say, things to me. And I learned, the hard way, how to
Okay.
use the equipment, how to finally a couple TikTokers that are, know what they're doing, helped me out.
Mhm. Good.
And we went back and forth a lot. I had a lot of questions. They had a lot of answers. And I learned how they showed me how to do a baseline reading, do
Okay.
that first. And actually I did it live when I did one of those sessions live, and he was on the live with me,
Mhm.
guiding me on how to do it. So it's
Oh,
actually
okay.
I actually have that video on my YouTube channel. And
Well,
and
well, that works because then other people get to learn also.
yeah, yeah. So he helped me out a lot, and that's how I learned to do a baseline reading. Make sure
Okay.
it's not, EMF or, s- making me scared. Check for EMF readings, check the whole
Mhm.
building, check, the power, check if there's
What do you
someone in the other room,
what
so
equipment do you use to do that, if I may ask?
uh K2 meter. I keep it basic. I have the REM pod K2. I use the K2 meter. If it
Okay.
jumps, it
Mhm.
doesn't jump, then I check everywhere.
And you use a REM pod too, did you say?
Yes, a REM pod is
Okay.
probably one of the main devices I use. Probably my favorite
Mhm.
device because it's pretty.
What is it,
Mhm.
it can be pretty accurate.
Yeah.
What is the most compelling experience that you've had?
I'm gonna tell you, I had a different experience, but I got to say the lighthouse. The
Okay.
lighthouse just blew me away, and it's recent. It's only been like a month, and I,
Interesting.
I'm
Well,
still in shock.
I'll tell you what, I'm interested because the lighthouse is what started me. It didn't really start me in the field, but
Mhm,
it's kick-started everything I'm doing now with an experience I had in the lighthouse. So I totally agree with you. But we're getting ready to take our break here in about 20
mhm.
seconds. I'd rather not interrupt you once you start with that story.
Okay.
So, so kind of keep that in mind. We want to hear what happened to you in the lighthouse. And with that, folks, we're getting ready to take our next break. I've got Tony Colon from Fighting Spirit Paranormal. So stay with us. We'll be right back after these messages. Paranormal Stakeout with my guest tonight, Tony Colon. Tony, just before the break, we were talking a little bit about things that happened in St. Augustine, how that was probably your most significant adventures that were. And I'm really interested because that's really what got me started on the road that
Mhm.
I'm on now. I had experiences earlier on in my police career, but it was St. Augustine that really set me on the trail to find out really what was on the other side. So
Yeah.
tell us about your experience in St. Augustine and what happened there.
Well, I was at the St. Augustine Lighthouse, and I was there with Chris. So we start out. Uh, we go to the lighthouse. We go to the top and come back to the bottom, and nothing really, happened. Then we went over to the lightkeeper's house, which is a separate
Okay.
building, and we went in there and we went to the basement, which is they say is the most haunted part of the keeper's house. And we laid out some equipment, and we laid out the REM pod, and it went off. We laid out the hotel bell. The bell rang. We
What's the
laid out.
hotel bell? What's the hotel bell?
It's
So for
it's
those
like
that don't know.
it's like a restaurant bell, and some of them run off of EMF, and it'll ring if
Mhm.
the EMF field gets broken,
Okay.
electromagnetic field. Uh, and someone just ready, the one I had EMF. So if
Hmm.
it gets broken, just like a REM pod, it'll go off. So the bell went off,
Hmm.
and then I put down cat balls. The cat ball moved, and it started lighting up. It lights up when you move it.
Okay.
So, and then I tried Necrophonic app. Uh, got some interesting responses on there. And then for Chris, he heard a cough in his ear, and I
Hmm.
told him it had to be the lightkeeper who died from tuberculosis.
Now, did you record that cough? Was it, I mean, do you have it still or?
I had it's all in the video. I posted it to YouTube. You
Okay.
could barely hear it,
Mhm.
but it's there. I mean, he gets startled and he's like, "I heard a cough," and I didn't hear it in the room. He said it was near his ear. He heard
Mhm.
a cough,
Mhm.
and that was William Harn,
Okay.
who was the lightkeeper who died in that house, and he had tuberculosis. Yeah,
Wow.
which I
Okay.
found interesting. Yeah.
Now this is all in the basement, you said.
Yes, in the basement.
Okay. Which side of the basement you're on? There's for those folks that don't know, you come down some stairs and then there's a room and there's a
Hmm.
hallway with some cutouts like windows into like a cistern on the left, and then you
Yes.
go to a room on the other side. And that room back there, I know, has had a lot of purported to have a lot of activity back in there. Which room were you in?
I was in that room, the one in the back with a lot of activity when that happened.
Okay, okay.
And we kept hearing knocking behind us the whole time. I had to keep
Mhm,
turning back and looking. I'm like, there are wood floors and you can hear people walking
mhm,
above you, but it wasn't that. It was knocking. It wasn't walking. I could tell the difference. It wasn't that. But I ignored it because it could be the ceiling. So I ignored that. And then after that, we go upstairs. There was another team um, investigating. They had the bell, and the bell was just ringing randomly. So I told them, let's see what if we could get some activities, something more significant here. And I
mhm,
said, ring the bell 5 times, and it rang 5 times in a row. And then they asked, ring the bell 5 times back to back, because at first it rang once. When they asked again, just
mhm.
ring it 5 times back to back, and it rang 5 times in a row back to back.
Interesting.
So I
And you
found
got
that
all,
really interesting. Yeah.
and you got this all on video.
Yes. It's on my it's
Excellent.
my last YouTube video actually.
Oh,
It's-
very, very, very good, very good.
yeah, and
Um,
there was more. They all went outside and left me alone, and I went down to the basement by myself,
mhm,
and I sat in the dark, and I saw a light get covered and uncovered, and then I heard a chair move
mhm.
when I was down there, which startled me, and then I got up and checked it out. But of course, didn't really see nothing, but I got that on camera too.
Excellent. So,
Yeah,
how long ago were you there, if I may ask?
about a month ago.
Oh, so it's pretty recently.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
it's fresh in my mind as the most, you know. And oh, we also caught a voice, a disembodied voice. You could hear it
Mhm.
on the video too.
Okay.
Chris says, uh, he says, "Can you see our names?" And the whisper says, "I'm so bad with names." A
You
direct
actually,
answer. Yeah.
and that's on that's on the video
Yes, it's on the
on
video
YouTube
too.
also.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
If
we'll
you
talk
can't
about that
hear
a
it,
little.
if you can't hear it, put headphones on. You will hear it. You will definitely hear it. Yeah.
Interesting. So you'd consider that the most significant experience you've had in your paranormal work.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Because it was so much in one day and one night. Yeah.
So do you do anything with the evidence? Do you like store it, compare with other evidence? Do you try to determine where it came from? I mean, do you research it, I guess is what I'm trying to ask. What
I
sort of,
I do research into the history. So
Mhm,
that's how I knew William Horn died of
mhm,
tuberculosis when and Joseph Andrew fell to his death, and I knew all those things. And then was
mhm.
I kind of like to go in blind too, not knowing, but this is a special place. A lot of everyone knows the history mostly.
I agree.
It's a special place, and
I,
so knowing the history, I didn't think would affect what the evidence I'd catch, but
yeah. See, I don't think knowing the history
mm,
of the venue is ever a bad thing. I think going in knowing when it was built, who lived there, not necessarily. I agree with you. You don't want to broadcast what other people are experiencing because that can influence you. But I think
yeah,
going into any facility, any venue, knowing the history is the prudent, proper thing to do if you're going to
yeah,
conduct an investigation into finding out what's going on there. So I think that's very, very prudent.
yeah.
Have you ever gotten any names, not just at the lighthouse, but any other place where you've gotten a name and you've been able to research that name to come back to the place that you're at? Have you ever had that happen?
Um, I have, but it's a good question. Off the top of my head, I have, it's on video. Everything I catch, I have on video on
Hmm.
YouTube. But I have caught it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you've never really had an opportunity to uh, compare this evidence, like St. Augustine with Casadega, and maybe find similarities or anything? Have you ever been able to do anything like that? Maybe trying to find a common denominator to what's happening?
What usually when I have more questions, I'll bring someone in and not tell them what I caught and see
Mhm.
what they catch and
Okay.
compare notes.
Okay.
Uh, I like to do that. I like to collaborate with other teams and see what they do, their best practices, take some of their
Okay.
best things, add it to what I do. And I'm always learning. Yeah, I'm always learning every day.
So you're learning from these investigations. You're gaining experience. You're bringing other people. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
But what do you want to accomplish by collecting this information? What is your goal? Is it to find out what is on the other side? Is it to find out what's causing it? What is your goal as an investigator with this information?
I I want to catch something. I want to catch something significant that is undeniable.
Okay.
Because I want to share what I saw, what I felt when I experienced what I did with the paranormal. And the only way to
Mhm.
do that is to catch it on camera and share it. So.
You want to find out where this person is. For example, there's all
Hmm.
kinds of theories out there. Is it another dimension that's bleeding over? Is it actually people crossing over from an ether world such as heaven?
Yeah.
Is it the product of our own minds? I mean, have you ever thought about maybe looking into it to find out exactly where the root is, where it's coming from?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely want curious about that. Um, uh, being growing up Catholic, I
Hmm.
feel I'm on the Catholic side of things, but I also grew up spiritual.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like on the fence with both. So I'm out there trying to find out, which side should I be on. So I that is one of the reasons why I investigate so hard and want to find out,
Well, I
because it's
actually,
all theory really, but I want to find out.
we really don't know what it is, do we?
No.
Yeah. No, but what's interesting is I actually talked to somebody who held a position in the Catholic Church, not high
Mhm.
up there, but in the Catholic Church. And I've also read the same account that the Catholic Church actually does not condemn investigation as long as it's for educational purposes, not for personal gain.
Yeah.
I find that very, very interesting, and it acknowledges that the Catholic Church knows there's other entities out there. So I find that very, very interesting in
Yeah.
connection with the Catholic Church. So we've just got a couple minutes before the next break. So we're
Mhm.
probably going to have to go bleed into the next break with this question because
Okay.
it's deep. I want to know what Tony Colon thinks this is. What is your opinion of what it is you're experiencing, where it's coming from, who it is?
Okay. All right.
So what do you think? What's your philosophy?
Uh, I I feel on the Catholic side of things, I feel it's a consciousness, it's energy, it's a spirit it's someone that has passed away,
Okay.
and they could be in purgatory, uh, waiting to maybe cleanse, get better, and they could be accepted into heaven. So I'm on that side, but I'm also on that spiritual side where I think it could be, we're energy, made of energy,
Hmm.
and we could be in the same way in a purgatory cleansing to come back reincarnated. So I'm on the middle with that.
Yeah,
My
you're
spiritual
crossing
side fights with my other side all the time.
you're
So
you're crossing all kinds of lines there, aren't you?
yeah.
Have you ever given any thought, or do you have any? And there's one thing I want to make real clear. There's no right or wrong answer here,
Hmm.
because in my personal opinion, nobody knows exactly what this phenomenon is. But have you ever personally given any thought to uh, the world of purgatory in the Catholic belief?
Hmm.
Could that just be a dimension? They talk about the 10, 12 different dimensions that sit next to each other.
Yeah.
Um, could purgatory just be a dimension? Could
Yes.
any of it be a dimension?
It could be. Yeah. It could be. I mean, the Catholic Church says that there's another side to the living side.
Hmm.
Where the spirits are. There's angels, saints, even demons. You know, they're
Hmm.
fallen angels. They say so. It's yeah. I could see that. I could see it being another dimension.
So, but in your mind, and once again, we're all kind of guided by how we're brought up, and you were brought up in the Catholic Church. So it's your opinion that we're talking angels and spirits and demons is what this is all about. Uh, heaven and hell, basically, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with that thought, we're going to take our next break here, our last break. So stay with us, folks, as we wrap this session up with Tony Colon of Fighting Spirit Paranormal. Be right back. And welcome back, everyone, to Paranormal Stakeout with my guest tonight, Tony Colon of Fighting Spirit Paranormal. Hours gone fast, but I want to make sure that you folks are aware of something. If you want to see some more great programming on the X Zone Radio and TV Broadcast Network, go to xzbn.net and you'll see my show as well as a host of other shows, all dealing with the paranormal and aliens, the whole nine yards. So I really recommend you check out xzbn.net. Also, if you want to learn a little bit more about me, you can go to my Facebook page, Indian River Hauntings LLC. You can also check out our YouTube channel at the @ Indian River Hauntings 2341, where you'll see some of the videos of our investigations, and also our website. Can't forget that, IndianRiverHauntings.com. Tony, how can people find you, and tell us where they can find your videos?
Uh, YouTube, Fighting Spirit Paranormal 2396, and on TikTok it's Fighting Spirit Paranormal. On Facebook it's my name, Tony Colon, and Instagram it's Tony C Fighting Spirit Paranormal.
And they can reach you on all those places, right? They can get a hold
Yes,
of you.
and if someone wants to email me, fightingspiritparanormal@gmail.com.
Terrific. Thanks.
Yeah.
So we were getting into something a little bit deep there at the end of the break, and I want to kind of finish that off before we begin to wrap this all up. What do you, so are we, when we talk to, when we're hearing the voices in the lighthouse, or we're seeing the shadow people, are we seeing those that have passed before us? Are we seeing our relatives, our friends, or people walking through? Is it actually them, or is it something else? Do you have a thought on that?
Uh, it could be them, and it could be someone trying to trick us.
Okay.
You have to feel that out, investigate it out, talk it out, and your families and friends, and you'll know the difference if it's if you're being tricked or not. So
And here's a great question. You get Franklin Delano Roosevelt says that he's here. How would you determine if you're being tricked, or it really was him talking with you? Do you have a way to do that?
uh, ask him some historical things that he might have
Okay.
done. So yeah.
And you'll catch me kind of asking questions I know are wrong, just to see how just to see how they respond. So that's interesting. Um, do you find that there's any kind of collective hive on the other side, or do we retain our personalities? You mentioned before about even coming back reincarnated. So what are your feelings on that?
On
Do
this,
we go? Do we retain our personalities when we go back, or?
I think we do. I mean, uh, getting into past life and thing.
Mhm.
Uh, I always felt my past life I was Japanese for some reason. It
Oh.
just always something with Japan always pops up for me.
Mhm.
Uh, so I think it's possible that it could be a collective, and then you go, your energy gets cleansed, and they let you come back, someone else. I could see it. I can
Yeah,
see it.
and I can see where that's a real issue with your Catholic upbringing too,
Hmm.
because you're talking about really going to two
Yeah,
different sides there. So and I think that's a dilemma a lot of folks face in paranormal research and investigation,
yeah.
particularly if they have a religious background growing up. It can sometimes be tough. Um,
You have to be open minded. Yeah.
that's the key, and I learned that a long time ago. I learned that as a young detective, actually, to
Hmm.
keep my mind open, and it
Yeah.
helped. Now, you mentioned something a second ago about Japan. Now, I noticed in your bio you're planning on a trip to Japan. Is it
Yeah.
just to visit the sites, or are you going to go over there to do paranormal investigation?
Yeah,
Wh-
paranormal
wh-
for sure, for sure.
Where would you
I
go?
want to go to the Okigara forest. They call it the suicide forest.
Yeah,
I
I
hope
think
I
where
pronounced
everybody
it
wants
right.
to go.
That's my goal. I want to go there, check that out. Uh, I don't think they'll let me on this island, this abandoned island. Forgot the name of it offhand, but there's an abandoned island off of the coast of Japan too.
Mhm.
But I'm not sure if they allow visitors there. But I would like to go there too. So,
So your primary goal is to go and investigate.
yes.
Do you think you will make a connection with what you believe might be a past life? Is there you gonna have enough feeling?
I think I would. Yeah, yeah. There's something going on there. I don't know if because it's at the base of Mount Fuji, or if it's because there's lava rock. I'm there's something going on there that the government acknowledges it. They warn you. They have a warning that before you go in. So I want to see for myself what the phenomena, what it is.
Yeah, and it could just be that people go back there and do sad things, and their government's trying to keep them out too. I mean, we
Yeah,
don't know, and I think that's really a key to all of this. Some people like to say they definitively know what all the answers are. In my opinion, we are so far away from knowing
yeah,
even a fraction of what we need to know. Now, you also talked about doing an RV trip across the country. Tell me
yes.
about that. Tell us about that.
I want to take an RV and go to all the haunted places and one by one just knock the
Mhm,
checklist off. It's like a bucket
mhm.
list thing. So that I have so many places I want to go. So many. It's
What's top on your bucket list there?
uh it's I'd probably say St. Albans is probably my number one
Okay.
because the activity that I've seen other people get there, and I'm from New York, so
Hmm.
St. Albans is first. Uh, Savannah, the Sorrel Weed House,
Hmm.
uh, Brushy Mountain in Tennessee. Uh, I don't want to go to Waverly. I just too many people have done it. I don't really. I forgot to tell you at the lighthouse on
Yeah.
the one of the apps, it said two more idiots. So it sounded like the spirits were tired of having people go through there.
Wow. Now, here's
You
an
know,
interesting question I'll pose to you, and something that
uh,
I've actually thought about. Can places like Waverly Hills, for example, the lighthouse, can they be, for lack of a better term, fished out? In other words, after a while, nothing happens there because too many people have been going in there with their tape recorders, their
mhm.
millimeters, their SLS cameras, or whatever, trying to find stuff. Can a place get fished out, in your opinion, where they just decide, I'm not talking to you anymore?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. That was the first thing I thought of when I heard two more idiots. I was like, oh, they tired of people coming through here.
Interesting concept. And
Yeah.
once again, is that dimensions crossing, or is this really the other side saying, "Leave me alone, I'm trying to rest"? You just don't know.
Yeah.
What do you want to do with with you on this trip? Are you going to video and put this up,
Yes.
video your stops and put it on your YouTube channel?
Yes. That's the goal. Yes.
Okay. The goal, and what is the goal of the goal? What do you want to accomplish by putting all this stuff up on your videotape? And are you going to bring out the fact that you're fighting spirit paranormal is fighting a fight, and look,
Hmm.
you guys can do it too. Is that really what you want to do? Is
Yes. You hit it,
okay,
the nail right on the head.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do. Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking of bike riding, but it might be too much for me physically. So I said, RV would be better.
Yeah, yeah, you would bike riding would take you an awful long time. So where do you mentioned all of these places that people go to all the time. Do
Mhm.
you think that all the commercialization of the paranormal is a good thing, or does it matter? Does, and what I'm talking about is there's so many people now that are advertising. I have a haunted venue here. Come and investigate. Is that type of thing hurting the field or helping?
Um, it hurts the field when there's people scamming and taking advantage. Like
Hmm.
they charge more at a whole. They say it's a haunted hotel, and it's not
Hmm.
haunted. They just want to charge more for the rooms. You know,
Hmm.
that's bad. You know that. Yeah, that's not good.
How do we
But,
how do we stop that, Tony? How do we police that? If those of us that are interested in advancing the field want to stop those from making a buck and taking advantage, how do you think we should stop that?
uh, we need we need more unity, para unity. We need more of that, and the word gets out, and no one goes there.
Mhm.
And they lose money. They'll stop doing it. You know.
Yeah,
So.
I'll give you that. If people stop making money, they'll stop doing it. Uh, my opinion is people are taking advantage of, and we've
Hmm.
got to be careful. And I think that we in this field, those that want to keep, for lack of a better term, pure,
Hmm.
keep what we're doing honest. We need to call out those that are trying to scam us. We need to call out those that are trying to make something out of nothing. And for example, I preach quite often any paranormal team that charges a fee, don't trust them. Okay, some people take donations to cover gas. I'm not necessarily talking about that, but people that charge a fee, where we come out for $150 an hour, those are the types of things that we have to be careful of, along with psychics and mediums that are trying to take advantage by doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and it's sad because those people with the gifts, it ends up harming them because there are people with those legitimate gifts out there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
In our last couple of minutes, I have two questions. First of all, where do you think the future of paranormal research and investigation is going? Where do you think it's heading? Any idea or opinion?
I think it's headed to a science. The technology just gets better every day. I think it's going more technology, and I think that's where it's going. It's getting very technical.
Hmm.
Um, there's so many teams out there. It's getting watered down a little bit, I think. But
Do,
I
do we
think I
need
think
do we need some standardized training to
yes. I was
kind of
thinking like a Facebook for the paranormal, something where we all collaborate and talk to each other and something like that, and it's regimented, and we all, if you and you're only allowed in if you pass, if you get a certificate, that you're legitimate, something like that, you know.
well, it's been like that in the police world for me, for example. We do training that allows us to interact with other agencies and things, and our techniques are basically the same. I've actually been a proponent of that for quite a while, and it's interesting that you feel the same way. So, keeping that in mind,
Hmm.
you continue doing your work. You do your cross country trip.
Yeah.
You finally stop doing it at one point, but at that time, what do you want your legacy to be? what do you want people in the paranormal field to say about Tony Colon in the future? What's your legacy?
I want them to say that was an amazing guy. He had a lot of things going against him, physically challenged, mentally challenged, and he fought through it, and he did some great paranormal work in the name of Parkinson's awareness.
Very good. Okay. Well, I think that's an honorable direction, Tony. That really is. And I really want to thank you for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show. And
Thank
we will
you.
see you again. Good luck in your endeavors. We'll look forward to seeing your shows on YouTube. So
Yes, sir.
with that, take care. We'll see you in the future. And folks, thanks for joining us here tonight. Great show. Thank you for being here. Please take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful holiday, and we'll see you on the other side. Have a good night, folks.